I'm here to tell you that for the past 195 years, it's worked very well in York, Pennsylvania. And there are certainly opportunities for privatization to actually add benefits where there are water challenges. However, it does have to be properly regulated. I do want to say that it's an immense irony that the wealthiest countries in the world pay the least for water. And I'm not sure, it's just fascinating that it works out that way. Here in York, Pennsylvania, for $3.80, about the price of a decent cup of coffee, we will send you, not only send you, but deliver exactly where you need it, 1,000 gallons of water for $3.80. And obviously, I'm very anti-bottled water, and I agree that with the film that when there is some competitive forces, it makes sense, obviously, to motivate people to lay pipes into areas that don't have a water supply, so that the women in the village don't have to walk 2 miles for some tainted water. And if you can pay a reasonable price for the water, I think those villages would prosper, and the villagers would appreciate it, whether it's privately owned or government owned. If it can be done, it's a wonderful thing. I do agree, water is a human right. So is food and clothing and shelter and the ability to live free from fear. But all those rights do cost something. Otherwise, they get squandered. Anything that's for free gets abused and squandered. So there should be a reasonable price on everything we get.
Thank you. Will you talk a little bit about the scale of the problem, the way you experienced it, and how you feel that they can be surmounted, for example?
Well, the scale of the problem is immense. When you look at the problem of just diarrhea alone, and diarrhea is one of the most common causes of death in infants and young children. And it also, not only does it kill children and infants, but it also leads to poor growth and poor stunting, which is where you have small children for a year of age. And along with that, it has some potential for affecting their brain development in terms of IQ and so on. So you have many children who are not able to reach their potential in life, and therefore, so that important human resource is being limited as they get older.
I received an email from someone in India not very long ago asking for a fundraiser for getting better nutrition for children in that part of the country that she was working in. And she, of course, sent it to a list of people. And there were at least 3 responses to her email saying that it's not about the food, it's really about the water. Even if they get the food, then what will happen to the food if the child is having diarrhea regularly? And these kinds of interconnections between these very pressing issues has become very, very important to realize that it's not just about providing enough food or clean water. It has to be a more integrated approach to it. Dr. Foy, do you want to make some comments about the role of chemistry in cleaning it up and what are the possibilities and what's in the horizon?
Well, in terms of the role of chemistry in cleaning up water, we as chemists, I think, take the most significant role. And we need to focus our efforts more in that area. There's plenty of technology available. The issue, I think, is affordability of the technology, and as it's been alluded to, the political issues surrounding it. I think that in terms of the science, it's interesting because I think that we as chemists are probably more interested in the pharmaceuticals in the water and things of that nature that we can find at such low levels. where the basic cleanliness of water that doesn't have waterborne bacteria in it is really the biggest issue. And I think our focus as a chemistry society ought to be in bringing more affordable ways to bear on cleaning water.
I want to really elaborate on the pharmaceutical part, because in Florida now, wherever there's conversation, people are talking about parts per billion at this point of aspirin and other pharmaceuticals available, traces, and what does that mean?
Yeah, what does that mean? That's the question. What does that mean to villages in India where the water is unusable? It means nothing. To us, that is the broader question is, what does it mean to have the medicines that we're producing floating around in our water system? And this is not to say that that the pharmaceutical companies are polluting. This is a natural. It gets in there naturally. I mean, it goes through our body. It goes into the waste streams. The waste streams are recycled. It's there. The cleaning up of water is not at a level at which we're trying to remove those kinds of contaminants. There are much more basic needs in trying to clean up the water. And so, unfortunately, those kinds of issues in our country, I think, get the more splashy headlines.
Thank you, Mr. Hines. I'm very interested in learning more about your. I was very impressed by the way, I was not aware that your company was the oldest private company, so I must find out more about that. But I'm more interested in your comment about bottled water. What are the aspects of bottled water that don't make sense to you?
Well, that's one of the aspects that do make sense. And there really aren't any. It's a fascinating market here in the United States, especially. Obviously, in areas that can't get quality water. For instance, I know a group of students went to Costa Rica. In some areas of Costa Rica, it probably makes sense to use bottled water, or to boil it, or to add some of your own disinfectant. But other than that, in a country like America, where you're never more than a minute away from a tap water fountain, there's really no need for bottled water. The plastic creates a tremendous environmental strain, and it's just a waste that's unnecessary. And of course, the cost is astronomical. It's 1,000 times more than this. And this you just refill, and this goes to the landfill maybe at the end of its useful life. But that's one more bottle into the landfill instead of the 1,000 that you could use instead.
Thank you. Any questions from the floor?
I have a water purifier.
There's a microphone here, so people can hear.
I have a water purifier in my refrigerator right now, and I was wondering if there's a way to purify the bacteria out of the water that is cost effective, maybe like with carbon filtering or something like that.
So,
I'll start. What makes you think there's bacteria in there to start with?
Well, I'm talking about the other parts of the country that do have waterborne bacteria. Or not the country, but the world.
Yeah, I'm not sure. The point of use filters.
yeah. There are several solutions. One that comes to mind is called Life Straw. You can look it up. It's a Dutch company, Danish company that makes it. Where you have the straw and the filters in it, you can suck up water from any source and it will be clean. The real issue with those kinds of filters is the cost is, let's say, a little over $1. Most of the cost is in the filter, and the filter will last you for 3 months. Mm-hmm. The infrastructure needed to replace the filter and the cost associated with it, even if you give it away, now makes that a dangerous kind of an issue because people might not change the filter often enough. There are many approaches to that. They've made a bigger one, and so that it's centralized, so it can be changed and monitored, so on and so forth. So there is technology, but how to implement it is a real question.